Coming up, looking ahead with the Chamber of Commerce. That's next on Perspectives. Hello, I'm Sam Jones. Well, it must be Christmas time. Lots of colorful lights, children all dressed in red, dogs in fake antlers, Christmas trees roped to tops of cars passing by on the freeway. Yeah, it's got to be Christmas time. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we hear sale, sale, sale. Well, not available in stores. Be one of the first to call. Supplies are limited. Hurry, hurry, spend, spend. Save time and buy it online. Now you're hearing that too, aren't you? It must be Christmas time, but something's missing. Well, maybe it's time for us to go back a few years and dust off a document that might help those of us without the Christmas spirit remember what it's like to be a child. Let's go back to 1897. Close your eyes. Try to imagine what New York City must have been like when an 8-year-old girl by the name of Virginia O'Hanlon began her search for truth. Back over 100 years, when this child wrote a letter and the result was felt all over the world. It was a bleak autumn day when Virginia asked her father, "Is there a Santa Claus?" He was evasive, so Virginia wrote the Sun, the New York Sun, a respected newspaper of its time, of which her father said, "If you see it in the Sun, it's so." Her letter read, "Dear Editor, I'm 8 years old. Some of my friends say there is no Santa Claus. Papa says if you see it in the Sun, it's so. Please tell me the truth. Is there a Santa Claus?" Well, her letter found its way to veteran editor Francis P. Church. Son of a Baptist minister, he'd covered the Civil War for the New York Times and had worked for the New York Sun for 20 years. He was a hardened, cynical newspaper editorialist who'd seen it all. Until, that is, Virginia's letter landed on his desk. Here is his reply, and I quote, "Virginia, your little friends are wrong. They've been affected by the skepticism of a skeptical age. They do not believe unless they see. They think that nothing can be which is not comprehensible by their little minds. All minds, Virginia, whether they be men's or children's, are little. In this great universe of ours, man is a mere insect, ant in his intellect, as compared with the boundless world around him, as measured by the intelligence capable of grasping the whole truth and knowledge. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. He exists as certainly as love and generosity and devotion exists. How dreary would the world be if there were no Santa Claus? It would be as dreary as in there were no Virginias. There would be no childlike faith then, no poetry, no romance to make tolerable this existence of ours. We should have no enjoyment, except in sense and sight. The external light with which childhood fills the world would be extinguished. Not believe in Santa Claus? You might as well not believe in fairies. You might get your papa to watch all the chimneys on Christmas Eve to catch Santa Claus. But even if you did not see Santa Claus coming down the chimney, what would that prove? Nobody sees Santa Claus, but that's no sign that there is no Santa Claus. The most real things in the world are those that neither children nor man can see. Did you ever see fairies dancing on the lawn? Of course not. But that's no proof that they are not there. Nobody can conceive or imagine all the wonders there are unseen and unseeable in the world. You tear apart the baby's rattle and see what makes the noise inside, but there is a veil covering the unseen world which is not the strongest man, nor even the united strength of all the strongest men that ever lived could tear apart. Only faith, poetry, love, and romance can push aside that curtain and picture the supernatural beauty and glory beyond. Ah, Virginia, in this world there's nothing else real and abiding. No Santa Claus? Thank God he lives, and lives forever. 1,000 years from now, Virginia. No, 10 times, 10,000 years from now, he'll continue to make glad the hearts of childhood. End quote. Well, Francis Church's editorial was an immediate sensation, and it became one of the most famous ever written anywhere in the world. The New York Sun published it annually before Christmas until it went out of business in 1940. Church and his wife never had children, but he understood a child's world. He died in 1906. As for the little girl, Virginia O'Hanlon, well, she got a Bachelor of Arts degree from Hunter College, then her master's from Columbia the following year, and in 1912 became a teacher, later a principal in the New York City school system. She married, became Virginia Douglas, had children of her own, and after 45 years as an educator, she retired. And during all of those years, she received a steady stream of mail, and I do mean steady, about her Santa Claus letter, and she replied to all by sending an attractive printed copy of the Church editorial. Virginia O'Hanlon Douglas, who posed the question that prompted an editorial known around the world, died on May 13, 1971, at the age of 81, in a New York nursing home. They said that she had a peaceful smile on her lips, but that she died alone. But you tell me, was she really alone? That's my perspective. Up next, is there growth in our future? We'll hear from the Chamber of Commerce when we come back.